So, for those of you who have been here, you know that this Monday morning meditation is not really your typical meditation because you're allowed to do all sorts of stuff. You get to sit, you get to lay down, you get to drink your coffee or tea, you get to take a walk, you get to keep your eyes open, you get to close your eyes, you get to do anything that feels good because this is a time we're just clipping out a few minutes of our morning to remind ourselves that Monday is not worth going through if we're not going to go through it in kind of a nice way. It doesn't mean we have to be perfectly joyful or thriving, but it would be much better going through Monday 5 or 10% better, if not more, than we would have if we did no energy work. So taking this time is a little gift to ourselves to breathe, to think positive thoughts, to get our vibes up good, because there's a secondary benefit to feeling better. Obviously, when we feel better, the best thing is that we feel better. But when we feel better, we also start tapping into the universe's energy, which matches us with things that are similar to us. So when we improve how we feel a little bit, we start seeing magic around us. We start seeing things a little bit differently. Sometimes that's in the form of just easily having a better mood all day long. Sometimes that is in better conversations. Sometimes you get a phone call. Sometimes you feel like making a phone call. Sometimes you then kind of feel inspired to go take a walk or go to the garden center and find some pretty flowers, or to go grab a glass of wine with a friend in the evening, or whatever it is. As we feel better, we start manifesting little things around us. So there's so many good things about it. So as we settle in this morning, let's take a few deep breaths. This first one, let's take a few deep breaths by slowly breathing in, like let's say to the count of 5, and then slowly breathing out to the count of 7. If this is not comfortable for you, do whatever you want. Shorten it, lengthen it, but I'm going to start with a count of 5 in, and then a count of 7 out. So that looks like this. I'm going to do 3 of them. You can return your breath to normal. I invite you to just kind of put a little smile on your face. Feel good. Check in with the body. Is there anything you need to do, any adjustments to get more comfy? Do you need a blankie? Do you need a pillow? Check in with what's going on the inside. Do you feel all sorts of jumbly energy? Do you feel peace? Do you feel stress because of whatever's in your schedule today or this week? Do you feel excited because you don't have to work today, maybe? Maybe you like rainy days. Whatever we're finding, we are going to accept, because sometimes when we just accept ourselves how we are, we reduce the resistance that lets anything uninvited float away. If we have things on our mind like, I need to start doing this and I need to stop doing this. And I really wish, I can't believe I didn't. Okay, I need to feel better. I need to stop being annoyable. Whenever we've got kind of this idea about ourselves and we kind of feel this slight angst about wanting to change, we feel that slight angst because we want to change it. But law of attraction lets us know that if we are paying attention to it, it is in our point of attraction, meaning it is energetically glued to us, meaning even if we want it to change, it can't because of our attention to it. So as we breathe deep in and as we breathe deep out, and we just allow ourselves to be however we are showing up this morning, and we can look at those little pieces that we wish we could change, and rather than fighting it, we can kind of just observe it, smile, and wish that part of us well. The wall comes down and it can float away. So let's do a few more deep breaths. I just opened my eyes a little to see that Joe messaged me that it's her birthday today. So Joe, happy birthday. What a good excuse to smile. What a good excuse to do whatever you want. What a good excuse to treat yourself today. So let's all take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, wish Joe happy birthday. We wish you a day of all sorts of naughty things like breaking the rules, spending some money, doing whatever you want, smiling, eating some cookies and cake, buying some flowers. Lots of naughty things for you today. Well, maybe naughty to the rest of the world, but in this group, this is what I am encouraging you to do every day. Checking in with ourselves, asking ourselves, what do I need today? What would be nice today? What is fun for me? Sometimes it can go a long time where we haven't asked ourselves these questions because we've been in the grind and they haven't seemed to matter much because you still got to go to work and you still got to go do this and that. But if there's a part of you that is not really satisfied, then that is the indicator that how we are crafting our lives isn't working. Because going through the grind of what's already set up is different than crafting where we want to go based on how we feel. The whole world has us convinced of the logic of you need to do this and you need to do that and you got to be careful. But very few people are saying that the primary concern is how do you feel right now? How do you feel right now? If you're feeling good, then milk it. If you're feeling good, go into it deeper. Love it. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. Enjoy it. Hold on to it. If you're feeling a way that you wouldn't really like to repeat tomorrow, and you believe in law of attraction that says however you feel, you'll get more of, then we're left with there's only one logical thing to do, which is right now, try to feel better. We can do that by smiling and feeling that as the muscles move up, chemicals are released that feel good. We can do that by remembering beautiful things, by treating ourselves and asking, what would be good for me? What would be good for me? What's a good thing to do if I'm on a new journey right now? One of the best ways for me to feel better and to feel good and to conjure up those vibes is to return to the core of my being, which is being one who loves. This doesn't mean we have to talk to anybody, doesn't mean we have to say anything, but as we are concerned about ourselves, we are concerned about what is flowing to us. And as long as we are concerned about what is flowing to us, we have zero room to check in with what is flowing out of us. And starting to put intention on what is flowing out of us is the number one most powerful way to get started with law of attraction. There's lots of ways for things to flow into us. It's kind of the default as we go through the world. We see the news, we hear people talk, it's flowing into us, and we react to it. And the next step, if we've learned about law of attraction and we start choosing what we allow to flow into us, maybe we then watch some YouTube videos, we read some books, we come to this meditation, which right now in the meditation is flowing into us. For me, it's flowing out of me. For you, it's flowing into you. And that can still feel good. So it's still good to do these things. But the power is when we decide to put our focus on what is flowing out of us. So if you were to decide right now to take a deep breath in and even just say in your mind, I'd like to be one who loves. I'd like to be one who loves. Even just this little statement feels good to say. It feels right. It resonates. So in your mind, let's just take, I don't know, 30 seconds a minute, and let's just say over and over again in our mind, and then any variation you like. I'd like to be one who loves. I'd like to be one who loves. So let's take this time breathing deep and in our mind saying that, because that is our first step to controlling what is flowing out of us. I like to be someone who loves. Maybe something's popping up in your mind, like somebody you're having a difficult issue with. And so your mind wants to say, well, not this person. We can separate that thought from us thinking that that thought is who we are to recognizing it's just something the brain is saying, which are two different things. There's a difference between who I am and what the brain is saying. So if there's anything in your brain that's trying to negate telling you that you are one who loves, then let's just separate that. Let's acknowledge that is nothing but neurotransmitters in my brain doing what they think is good, doing what they've been doing for a while. But that is not me. I can I can observe my brain. I can observe that as something my brain is doing rather than me. Because I know that all of us, in the core of us, know that we are beings who can love unconditionally. It doesn't mean that you have to be in love with this one person. It doesn't mean you have to tolerate something forever. But it means that we can practice emitting love all the time, all the time. So think of inside of you as there being really two things going on. One is your brain, which is not you. And if you're wondering who you is the observer of that. As you can observe your brain doing something that it's doing, you are the observer. You are that quiet space who can observe that the brain is kind of chugging along doing its own thing, and that is not me. And as you are in your observer state, you know that you are one who loves. You are a loving being. So we can say, hush, little brain, I love you too, but you need a little guidance. Hush, little brain, I'll pet you. You're a little pet. And I know you're out of control, and that's okay. I'm going to start practicing controlling you. Just like if we had a little doggy that we adopted and that was out of control, we would say, oh, you sweet little doggy, I'll give you some structure. I will give you some rules. I will be disciplined to feed you on time and give you cuddles, and I will walk you. It's the same thing with our sweet little brain. It's okay, little brain. You can be a little out of control right now, but over the next period of today and the following weeks, I'm going to get better and better at being your owner. And for now, you do what you need to do. And for now, I'm going to be watch you. I'll be the observer. And I'm going to resonate with this phrase that I am one who loves. Such a powerful practice is to start looking for things to love. Start looking for things, anything to love. If you have a pen and paper nearby and you get a good idea, feel free to write it down. There's no rules. If you're feeling inspired, if ideas are popping into your mind and you don't want to forget them, by all means, go grab that pen and paper and write it down. I do it all the time. I meditate. There's so many things to love. I love my couch. I love my doggy. I love my family. I love a rainy day. I love a Monday holiday. I love flowers. I love the crispness in the air that's just starting to break through because it's just starting to become fall, at least where I am. I like a hot cup of tea. I like a cold beer. I like a green smoothie, or I like macaroni and cheese. Anything that you can think about is fair game because in that moment of loving whatever it is, your brain is not working. It is sitting there on the sideline, twiddling its fingers, waiting for you to stop controlling it so it can pop back open with whatever it's been practicing lately. So the more we observe and the more we decide, right now, I'm going to think about anything that feels good. I like the grass. I like my car. Maybe we hop in and go for a ride. I like going to this store. I like going to that store. I like going to this farm. I like listening to this. I like reading that. And as we start listing every little thing that we love, we realize, wow, there's a lot to love in my life. And even if you've been going through some troubles and you can only find one thing to love, grasp onto it. It's enough. It's enough. You have done a good job emitting love. This is what is natural for you. And the only thing I could suggest for this today and this week is not separating meditation time and the rest of your life. I would rather you, teeny bits all throughout the day, take a deep breath and find a way to emit love than to meditate like this regularly. Because if we think that, okay, meditation is over, I feel good, and now I'm going to go back to the rest of my life and be reactionary to everything that's going on, then we lose the power of it. So think of this as not different than the rest of your life. Think of this as just jumper cables. Think of this as jumper cables. And now the magic will happen in carrying this feeling and this practice of, of emitting good vibes out of you as something you could do at tiny flashes throughout the day and throughout the week. And that will be way more powerful than periodically sitting down to meditate like this. So we'll take about a minute to do some deep breathing, and then we'll start wiggling our way out of this meditation and into the rest of our day. So I invite you to open your eyes if you haven't. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and stretch. You guys are doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. So if you want bonus points, you can latch on to that phrase, I'm doing it. Latch on because you are. You need to do nothing more. You just did the work. And now it's bonus points to try to flash send out love. It's bonus points to say, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Because the more you say, I'm doing it, and you believe it because I'm telling you you just did because you're here right now, you are now going to manifest easier times doing it. Now you're going to feel like doing the meditations more. Now you're going to feel like doing these flash pulses more. Now you're going to feel like coming and studying and watching the YouTube videos and starting doing some other practices more. You need not do much more than the two of those things, two tiny little things. Just say, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it as much as you can. Set alarms in your phone or remind yourself to say, I'm doing it. And then as often as you can, especially whenever you feel something uncomfortable, close your eyes, breathe deep, and send love to whatever. Send love to your coffee shop. Send love to the crossing guard. Send love to the lady wearing the purple hat. Send love to the little kid on the street. Send love. You don't have to say anything to anybody. It's just this feeling on the inside. You need not do anything more than that. If you feel like doing more than that, great. And you probably will if you do that for a few days. But you don't need to. You don't need to. So have a wonderful day, my friends. Thank you for joining me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a great day, everybody.